Welcome, everybody, to the UiPath Community Business Analyst Associate Series. This is session number 5. Thank you so much for joining us today. So today we have our core team. Myself, I'm Diana Gray. I'm the Community Marketing Manager for UiPath. We have Manjula and Revathi, who will be instrumental in helping drive today's discussions. We have Andrea, Anna Maria, and Christina as part of the UiPath community team, and then Aurora, who is leading the Automation Innovators program at UiPath. So today we will be talking to some of our speakers through a panelist discussion. So we're excited about that. The point of this whole session here is really to talk about the role of automation and business analyst within, what is the next step for you guys? What is the role that we want you guys to understand about the whole series that you just took, which is the Business Analyst Series and the courseware and the self-paced training. So I'm going to turn it over to Christina right now, who's going to introduce our panelist.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to our last session of the Business Analyst Program 2024. And let's meet our panelists today. So first, we have Atul Trikha, who is an RPA architect, COE lead, and account chief technologist for Peraton, and also a UiPath MVP. Atul, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, Christina, thank you so very much. Morning, evening, everyone. Welcome to the final event for this BA series, and thank you so very much, the community team, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this exciting learning event. And yes, like Krishna, you mentioned, there are so many things that we want to discuss today. How we can help you in shaping your new role as a business analyst, or even if you're already a business analyst trying to move to the automation business analyst. That is where we are as a panel. We are going to help you out and answer any question that you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Atul. Next, we have Nina Mehta, also a UiPath enthusiast and a result-driven project manager with UiPath Northern CA chapter lead. Nina, would you like to say a few words?
To add that I was in your shoes not too long ago. I took the VA certification and was really intrigued by what RPA can do. And I was able to find a job as a VA. So keep up the good work, don't lose momentum, get certified, and you'll be amazed at where your career takes you. So good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, Nina. Really appreciate it. And Tracy Dixon, next, our operational excellence and UiPath partnership lead with Centric Consulting, also UiPath MVP. Tracy?
Very glad to have everybody here. I am a certified business analyst as well. I'm on the technical side and on the business side. I think that's super useful to have skill sets in either one. I'm happy to be with you guys and talking about both the project management and business analyst experience.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Next, we have Cortney Dominguez, an RPA strategic consultant. Cortney, hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm super glad to be here to talk about business analysis and what that means, both from a functional and technical side. I've been in this capacity pretty much my entire career at some level of whether it's being a BA, managing BAs, and certainly in a consulting capacity doing all of that as well. So lots of experience in this space, and I love working with other BAs as well. So looking forward to talking about this today in any way that we can help you along in your journey.
Thank you very much, Cortney. Next, we have Devyani Sharma, project manager with Boundaryless. Devyani, hello.
Hello, everyone. This is Devyani. I'm so sorry, my camera is not working. So I am right now. My current profile is project manager, and I'm very excited to be part of this initiative. I started my journey as a RPA developer, then I got the opportunity as BA, then managing, and right now I am managing the complete RPA program and part of Center of Excellence. So it's been a quite a journey, and I am very excited to share that with you and maybe motivate you as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Devyani. Okay, now we will listen to Manjula, and I hope everyone will take the best learnings from this incredible session we have today with such valuable panelists. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Christina. And thank you, Diana, for bringing us all together. And I'm really excited to just have such a wonderful people who are industry experts today to talk about their journey in that process. We are also going to learn from them how we can just grow our career and then make ourselves better about that. Thank you so much for all your panelists taking your time and sharing your wisdom with us, which is going to be the value add for entire community members. Thank you so much for doing that. Without further ado, let me just start with Atul. Atul, I know that even now we were hearing about it. You are a solution architect as well as the COE head of automation. So, knowing that you work day in, day out with a industry to know about the solutioning, what they are expecting about it, please do let us know. Having a traditional BA versus the automation BA, where is the value add created for the business as well as for a professional? Please share some insights about that.
Sure, Manjula, thank you. Before I jump into that, I'm like you mentioned, I'm more into technical side of it. Like, I mean, my majority role as a solution architect or as a chief technologist, focusing on driving innovation, managing architects, implementing cutting edge solutions, right? So why I'm here, why I'm speaking as a role of a business analyst, right? The answer is simple yet profound. Technology alone does not solve problems, right? Context does. And that's where the business analyst steps in. Even in a role like mine, right, where which involves around technology, the success of any solution ultimately depends on how well it aligns with the business objective, right? Business objective is nothing, right? So we need to understand, align business objective, user needs, and the real world process, right? The BA serves as a strategic bridge between the business and the technology, right? They are the enabler. So, and in my role, it's important that I understand what their brain is going through so that our solution ultimately becomes successful. Now, to answer your question, what is the key difference between a traditional BA and an automation BA? The key difference lies in the specialization and the adaptability. A traditional BA builds credibility through domain expertise, right? That's what, like we talked about in the previous session, the very first important skill, that is how well you are in your domain, right? So the traditional BA built through domain expertise, stakeholder collaboration, and process improvement, right? In contrast, an automation build BA, their first is the automation first mindset. That what's make them different, right? They always thinks about automation, and automation first mindset to these capability, that is where they are different. Like the automation BA, if you remember the last event, we talked about the tools like process mining, task mining, right? So that is where automation business BA understand these concepts, they know these tools. Now think about the focus. The traditional BA generally focus on process improvement, but the automation BA focuses on, they try to identify where are the automation opportunities are, right? That is one thing. Traditional BA is like you will give them a project, they will start looking into that. Okay, these are my requirement, how to understand. But automation BA always look for what are the opportunity, what are the places where we can do the automation. Traditional BA use tools like flowcharts, Visio, or more focus on the requirements or the documentation. But now the automation BA uses tools like task mining, process mining, AI, ML, right? How to find those opportunities, how to make those automation more successful, right? So that is where I personally believe that they are different. Even the skill that we have talked about in the last 4 sessions, traditional BA are more like analytical thinking, stakeholder management, but this automation BA, they need to know the RPA. They need to understand the technical understanding of automation is so important. So that is where I personally believe there is a difference. Again, the capabilities still remain the same. I think it is the mindset that is different. It's more about the automation first mindset. That is what makes them different.
Awesome. Thanks, Atul, for just giving the clarity. So while the traditional BA and the automation BA holds the analytical communications, everything is the same, but bringing the process mining inside the business and creating the value puts them along with the tool. They becomes the expert in mining the business better. So now that we understood the path of BA, automation BA, what they are bringing onto the table, by having a great BA, how is the success different from the regular BA coming to the business side of it? Because they know the tools, they know the technology, and they also do the process mining. How do we quantify their success in the automation landscape when they are just being a part of the business journey?
Sure. So first, like we mentioned, right now, the automation BA, they are not just the facilitator, they are the enabler of innovation. That's the most important thing, right? How they are like helping the landscape with many things. Like for example, process optimization, right? BAs goes beyond just documenting process. Now they are traditional BA, they are documenting step by step what is acting, but here they are the strategic, they are the bridge between the strategic goals and the technical execution. So how they do that? Process optimization. BAs go beyond just documentation. They evaluate, they optimize the solution, right? Ensuring efficiency and alignment with the business objective. They are constantly looking for automation opportunities, right? Other than that, they are how they're taking the decisions, right? Automation BA uses tools like process mining and that what we talked about, task mining, and so many other insight to take those decisions. So that is where they are bringing more into the automation landscape. Also the leadership. When as a business analyst, now I'm changing the culture here. I believe every one of us, when we started with this RPA, there's a lot of resilience, like we don't want to adopt into the new technology. Will it take my job? But as a business analyst, also contributes a lot of like changes in the organization culture, right? So they are becoming the leader now because they are opting or they want to adopt the automation. So that's where the business analyst make sure the smooth transition is happening. So they are becoming a leader by itself, right? Data driven. They are also contributing in reducing the risk, because when as a business analyst, when you start looking and understanding the process, they make sure that they identify all the pitfalls early, minimizing the risk of automation failure, right? So that is all, and by also by prioritizing the automation opportunities, right? So I believe with the process optimization, reducing risk, data driven decisions, changing leadership, the culture, and by evaluating the maximizing the proper value by opportunities, prioritization. So that is where I personally believe they are making the change. To me, business analysts are the catalyst for transformation in today's world and in the automation landscape. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Atul. I can resonate with you. They are the catalyst, just not that writing the BRD and sharing it with the developer team to work on it. They become a catalyst to look at the business in altogether in a different lens in terms of the creating the value for the business. As you rightly said, the leadership, rather than just talking, they also know the process. They also know about the performance of the system, what needs to be brought into that. Well said, and thanks for just sharing the insight. Thank you, Atul. And moving to Nina now, just to know about it. Nina, you've been part of, in fact, I was really surprised to see that you are the person who started the journey with the AIS 400 and the COBOL times of it, where you started the journey. And now you are just coming to the traditional BAS landscape, how people can be just move around. I did start my career in that time around. when I was started, many of my colleagues have been left over because they couldn't just transform. Really happy to see that you have just moved your career and then just creating a vibes around it in a multiple roles about it. Thanks for just joining today. And I just wanted to know about it. How did you manage this transition from COBOL AS 400 to the RPA Business One? Just tell us about your journey quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I also, along with the technology stuff that you have to learn, I think it's a lot about your personal grit, believing in yourself, and wanting something bad enough to work towards it. So I think everybody, when you kind of make a decision to pursue something, follow through with it, it will bring results. And it going from COBOL, and I was a hardcore programmer doing C++ programming. And then just following my passion, what I enjoy doing, and finding that combination of technical and people skill is really what led me to pursue RPA BA and be here at this point.
Thank you so much, because many of us today here are sitting in a 3 different genre, right? Some of them are starting fresh. Some of them wanted to change the career from one level to other movement of the different stream. And some of them as a BA, they wanted to progress. I thought this question will just help us to know that everything is possible as long as we are just committed to do that. Thanks for just sharing about it. I also noticed that you have pursued multiple certification. How important you think the certifications are really needed and creating a credible for BAs? Please suggest that.
Yeah, I think certifications are extremely important because they cover all the aspects of the knowledge you need to do that job well. So if you don't take certification, maybe you won't learn that something that would really help the bottom line of the business that you're trying to help automate. So just taking the certification and learning the whole gamut of stuff is really, really important.
So, yeah, so taking the certification will re-inspire us with the concept, and then just reiterate how do we present ourselves to just prove ourselves. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes, and then there are no holes in the knowledge base, right? So you know in entirety what you need to know to become an efficient business analyst, or efficient at whatever certification you take.
Manjula, I also want to add here one thing for the certification, not only for the business analyst. I have over 25 certifications I did. People ask me this question so many times, why you are doing all those certifications, not only on one breath, but different, for example, business analyst, RPA, ServiceNow. But what I have personally found that when you do certifications, right, it gives you a milestone, a goal. Like, I mean, this is what you have to achieve in a more strategic way, like Nina was talking about, right? Without those certifications, you may miss some parts, like what is the right roadmap, you learn from here, there, but what is the strategic way of learning step by step. And also when you have a goal, right, ultimately you need to reach this certification, which can help your career, right? So that is where I personally believe that with certification, it brings you a step-by-step direction and a goal which you march towards to make sure that it helps in your business in a longer run.
Awesome. Well said, Atul. Yeah, when you again just bring it the topic as goal, it's just not that just the associate BA. Becoming the BA is another goal. And getting into the advanced level, it just puts you the milestone to take one after another in a structured way and the guided journey as well. Thanks for just talking about it and pitching in. Thank you so much. So with that, when we are just talking about, two of them just came back and spoke to us saying that one is automation business needs a different mindset. As a BA, we have to bring it onto the table. And also we understood when you are moving and starting any of the career, certification gives you the guided journey of it. And also we saw from Nina saying that starting in any career to any of the to movement is also possible in a way, as long as we are committed to the journey. So moving to the next segue of from here, I just wanted to bring Tracy over here. Tracy, you do have your incredible career journey. I was amazing to see that you have started your sales and you have also just started your own business, and finally you're just managing the operations as a lead for the businesses with partnership. How do you envision this kind of a BA have just added value to move on to the right now, the current role, what you are just doing, Tracy? Please let us know.
So I think the BA role is critical in being that central communication point across all of the pieces. I think it's really important for somebody to sit and understand at least a bit of what the users are experiencing, their day-to-day pain, what they value the most, how you can help them have a better day and not spend their time on things that feel like they're wasting away their brain, that, you know, the stuff that really drives people crazy. Having a good understanding for that, but also understanding enough about the technical side of things, about the capabilities and what the tools are, to be able to listen for those keywords and things that might make something not a great candidate, or make something more difficult. But having a bit of both sides and being that bridge in between the automation teams and the business, and helping them to connect the two when it makes sense.
Awesome. By talking to all of you, I'm just pondering, BA becomes the base for every other profession to make the good communication better, to do the good documentation better, to do the good stakeholder management. Probably that becomes a base for all of us. Thanks for just sharing that. But again, to take it to your point, I just saw that you are having a operation role in very strong. So is the BA, if I am a BA, I wanted to become an operation lead or operation manager, how is that I can just do a jump over from one role to another role? Please share your views, Tracy.
So I agree with what the others have said about certification being really important. It's a basis. It shows that you have foundational knowledge that applies, that you've been tested on it. So even if you're brand new, taking that as far as you can with it. And I know that I did whenever I started a few years ago, went out and took all of the training I could to soak it all in, and had that alongside actually putting my hands on and creating automations, whether it be for myself just to get better experience, or a charity, or work if there's the opportunity there for that also. So I think that's important, to have that a good understanding of the users. I think change management is not talked about often enough, but I know a lot of people have heard of organizational change management these days. It can be really scary for a team. You know, they don't see robots running around their office. Typically, they don't know what to think. All the movies out there, they can be really scared about what's to come. So making sure to sit and think about that and how important it is to communicate to those teams, so they understand that they will have a better day in the end. We know that that's the case, but they can be really frightened about what may be happening, or losing their jobs, things that really aren't the reason that the teams are there working on that. So I think it's important to have that, and to put your head on as a user in the chairs and think like them as well, and to communicate on both sides. So those are key things, I think, skill set wise, to think like a user. I think it's also just as important to say what a good automation is not. I think there's been projects that I've seen started on occasion where, you know, it really shouldn't have been started to begin with. I think that's very critical, to listen well enough about what a potential process is. Some things can be solved easily without needing an automation at all, just by communicating with people. Some things aren't the best candidate at that point. Maybe something's changing soon, new tools coming soon, things like that, where it's really important to say no, so there's not a bad experience at the end, because it just was never a good candidate.
Awesome. So what I'm just hearing is, it's just being a BA, you get to know the end-to-end insight. In fact, you can manage the complete SDLC if you are really prepared for it. It's just not your BA work. You can just manage the entire SDLC of it, where you can just pitch into your service maintenance, or you can pitch in for your development, and you can just manage the overall communication as a project manager as well. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Lovely, right? So with that, let's just, I also wanted to reflect on it while we are just talking to our experts today. all of them are just taking BA as a base to just look at their profiles, how they are shaping their career. We are just learning from Atul, where as a solution architect, how he just sees that as a BA in his landscape, how he can just visioning around it. Similarly with the Nina, where how she uses this as a project management skill, or just the management of how to just manage the other operations part of it. Tracy talking about the same thing. So I just wanted our audience also to reflect on it. Whatever is the career you are just using it, bringing the BA in your career opportunity built the base for us to talk about it. With that, I would also bring.
Manjula, sorry to add one more thing. For our audience, especially, I have seen many times in our organization and many outside, based upon my experience, where a business analyst and a tester are interchanging their roles, right? So anybody who is a tester should definitely be focused on this one, and vice versa, because many times in organization, based upon my experience, and I hope everyone also, I mean, can pitch in there, but that is very thin line there. If you are a tester, you can easily become a business analyst, and vice versa. So that's is where, as a business analyst, again, for a developer also, right? Because you are possessing all the skills that are required to interchange those things. So very much essential that when you are doing this training, think more positive, broaden your scope, so that you can fit anywhere in the organization, whether it's as a tester or even as a project leader, or as like a project manager for a team also. Not only business analyst, this is far beyond than that.
True, true. And in fact, I was reserving a question for you to just ask about it, but then you brought the topic. Let me just also pitch in the question to you. So, very well said. As a BA, you get into the tester shoes, you would be able to uncover more errors and more ways of how do we bring a better business, because you have seen both the worlds of it, which is good about it. But using that lens now, let us know about it. What is that RPA developer will miss it where the BA will figure it out? Just help us out. You're on mute, Atul. We are not able to hear you.
Sorry. Sorry about that. So while RPA developer excel at implementing technical solutions, right? We know that developer is all about technical, whereas the BA brings a business-centric perspective, and that ensures that solution delivers real value. That is the main thing. Developers are more focusing on the technical. Here, everything is all about business, right? So the BA brings the business-centric perspective. BA complements developer by focusing on why and what. That's the most important thing. BA focuses on why and what, while developers handle how, right? So that is how they are different in their way. Developers are okay, how that will be done, but BA is why and what. So the synergy ensures automation projects are not only technically sound, but also strategically impactful. So that is where these two brings different roles, different perspective. BA uniquely contributes on holistic understanding. BA analyze the entire process, right? I mean, if I, the developer, I've seen, I don't need to worry about what the other developer is working on the other module, right? That's the traditional SDLC was like. As a developer, I was a developer for many years, so my focus was limited. Okay, you have assigned me this module, I'll work on that. Whereas as a business analyst, they need to understand and analyze the entire process, identify inefficiencies and dependencies, right? That developer might miss when focusing on specific tasks. So that is the one other big difference. BA looks as the overall picture, whereas developer may now things are changing, right? I mean, you can argue that as a developer, I need to also wear multiple hats, but that is what I'm talking about, more traditional development, which many of the organizations are still following. They focus on specific tasks, whereas BA is overall understanding. Then the strategic prioritization. They align automation initiative with business goals, ensuring resources are allocated in high impacted areas, right? Developers does not need to worry about that, right? They will simply start, like we mentioned in many of the events, right? BAs are talking continuously, contributing in ROIs, right? I mean, they are finding automation opportunities. They are finding which are the first one which we need to take. Like in the last meeting, we talked about the quadrants, like we are talking about quick wins or something which brings more to the value. So that is how they are different. Then also about the stakeholder advocacy, right? BA ensures that automation addresses the need of all stakeholders, right? Whether you talk about business user, customer, or even the technical teams. Same way the exception management, they design solution that occurs or account for real world edge cases, ensuring robustness. So these are the things that make it different from the developer side. Personally, believe that.
Thanks, Atul. Well said about it. They have to create a synergy, and then they are also just can become a value add looking at the business as a holistic. And you also brought the topic as a developer, they make just focus on a module rather than the business part of it. Yes, it's always a debatable when you just get into a real time shoe saying that who brings what over there. But to clarify that, I do have Devyani next, who's going to comment because Devyani's profile is again a unique for us to just bring her and talk about it. I was just looking at her profile, and for last 4 years, she's a BA, she's a developer, she's a project manager. Altogether, as a single person, she's just doing about it. I hope I just wanted to just bring her and then ask about this, saying that Devyani, how did you just manage to do everything together? Is it again? I wanted to just go back like Tracy was talking about. Is the certification also? I saw you were just taking that in each of the role. Was that a interlink between of that? Please tell us about it.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Manjula, for the question. First of all, again, I'll start with the certification. So, certification is the great way to validate your skills and knowledge, right? So, it's that's why it's very important for your career growth, and also in your transition. If you are transiting your role from a developer to a business analyst, of course you want to upskill yourself, right? And in order to do that, like Atul said, I completely support that. Certification give you a structured way to learn and validate your skills, right? For that, so for every role, certification plays a major role. So, like, I started as a RPA junior developer 4 years back, and certification helped me to go into the details of what is RPA, how it works, and the basic fundamental concept about everything regarding UiPath. And Academy is like my guru. Always, if there is something, I just go back to the Academy, UiPath Academy. So, this is how I started, where with my developer certification, I got the solid technical foundation, right? And that helped me to apply my knowledge and come up with good solutions, right? Then later I got the opportunity to move into business analysis. So as a developer, I was good. And again, the same topic we just discussed, developer has its own set of tasks, right? And limited to what to automate. I was much more interested to know why we are automating, or what it is automating, what happens behind the scene. So that's motivated me to move into business analysis. And in order to support my transition of developer to become a business analyst, the way was the certification. At that point, there was UiABA in 2023, right? That was introduced. And I took that exam and took my certification, and that also helped me to upskill myself to develop the skills of uh, uh, skills to bridge the gap between the technical team and the business stakeholders. So this is how certification helped me in my transition. Then again, I got the opportunity to grab the role of project manager. And by the way, how this is, I realized business analyst is not only limited to do the requirement gathering, or the documentation and so that's the part of the task, right? But as a BA, we need to, the prime responsibility for us is to understand the problem statement and what solution we can give to the business team. Maybe it is RPA, maybe not. Maybe it's just simple standardization of a process that could help to solve the problem. Maybe there is a leaning that is required in any process that is creating a issue for a business. So this leads to and opens as a business analyst going forward more opportunity, maybe as a manager, maybe as a lean team, part of a lean team. So that was something I realized while working as a BA. And I got the opportunity also from my team to even doing the analysis, also manage the projects. And that's how I realized why not go forward for the management. And again, for project management, I went for the different set of certification. I got my PMP certification, and actually that was a game changer for me. It helped me to understand the things I was missing earlier. And that's how, again, I'll come back to the point. That's why certification is very, very important, to demonstrate our commitment to the continuous learning and growth.
Thank you, Devyani. Well said, right? So when you just get to know one part of it, I'm happy to hear that. You just got into the developer, and after knowing the depth of it, I only know this portion of that. I wanted to know bigger and better business side of it. You started taking the BA course and then got your fundamentals. Once you're able to bridge the both the world of a developer and BA together, now you're just able to say, how do I manage it better? As long as you're just looking forward and getting into the project management. Well said, and it will also give us the audience opportunity for them to resonate how they can transition their career in a multiple different ways. So thanks for just sharing about it. But you being a project manager, I'm just going to ask you about it. If I wanted to become a BA, how do you can help me with a small project plan to with the timeline? Manjula, you do the A, B, C, then you'll become this person. Can you just share some insights about it?
Yes. I have actually prepared a very small, I would say, a plan. Let me share my screen.
Wow.
Um, just give you an idea. First of all, for the my main focus here is to how to get certified again. So the smart plan to complete your certification. See, we are here to focus on the certification, right? So I would say start with defining your goals, right? With the clarity of your goals, start with gathering the resources, and for us it is UiPath Academy, the best source that you will find, right? And if there is some other resources you are looking, the practice paper and all, gather all the resources. Take some time then to plan your study timelines. So here you can focus on dividing your complete course into a group like fundamentals of RPA. Definitely we want to learn about RPA first, then you can group the second set of topic, which is deep dive into the tools, then third set and fourth set. Plan your study accordingly. If you're already in some work, please plan to give a dedicated 1 to 2 hours daily for your self growth. Then next is apply what you have learned by going through the practice exercises. Very, very important. Test your knowledge first, take some time. We have a practice test available in the academy itself. The training plan is there already. So the details you already have, I believe. And then finally go with the exam, the schedule the exam and go for you know for it. Once again, you are confident that you have covered all the aspect of the defined training materials and syllabus that has been given and recommended.
Awesome. Thank you.
Manjula,
Thank you.
sorry, I want to add one more thing. Devyani, would you mind sharing that for a minute? I just want to add to actually your question, Manjula, that you also asked as a project manager, right? How you bridge that with a business analyst. So Devyani, would you mind sharing that screen for a minute? I just want to go into that screen to understand, even Devyani was talking more from the certification point of it, but how much it is aligned with the project manager role. So, Devyani, if you can please share that screen
Yes,
for a minute.
yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, here it
And
is.
the idea here is, right, I mean, even though this is more over like how you can be like, I mean, complete your BA certification, right? But look at how beautifully she has captured all the details as a project manager, right? This is how you start. You start with what you're trying to automate or what is your business goal is, right? As a project manager, if given me a chance that I need to work on a specific project or I need to work on automation, this is as a project manager, the first thing which we understand is what we are trying to achieve, right? What is the goal, right? That's here when you are talking about the BA certification, you understand your goal is to certify, right? But as a project manager, think about this as working on any project. For example, you want to automate a legacy system, right? That is your goal is. Then you start collecting resources. For example, your old documentations, your SMEs, your technical team, right? That is what you do. As a project manager, you try to gather resources as much as you can, and then you started making a timeline about it, right? For a project, how much time it will take to gather requirement, to take test cases, to build the automation or to build that project, right? And that's how you execute it, and then you test your system, and finally you put in production and make sure it's working. So these steps that Devyani is showing, again, it is for the certification path, but as a project manager, which Manjula you asked, they are very much aligned with what a project manager do. That's how they align all these steps one by one in making sure the project goes through a successful execution.
Awesome.
Not Manjula, to add, I don't feel personally like people have to wait until they've studied everything and they're totally prepared to schedule the exam. I'm a big fan of there are so many good resources put together. The learning plan's already put together for you. A lot of the putting together the resources has already been done for you. I like to look at what's there. I think the number of hours for the training is out there. Up to an hour more is generally what I would calculate as far as how long I need to study, and put a date out there. Hold yourself accountable. There are so many people that sign up for the courses and never actually get to the point that they feel great about taking it or don't think it, or they get busy. Put a date out there and schedule your exam, because magically you'll tend to live up to that and go take it. It makes a huge difference having that target to work for.
Absolutely right, right, Tracy. Yeah, and in fact, I would also share another perspective, like how Devyani shared that project plan for doing a certification. Now we have done a lot of base work. We have just put the goal, and we have assembled all our industry experts and taken you through the step by step. And we have also given the resources to walk through this chapter. This chapter we have just covered. All you have to do is brush up yourself, and like Tracy said, take accountability and put your timeline to write exam. Well said, and thanks for all of you just driving about it. Again, the certification is not just for that certification, it just validates and set you the path for you. Where are you standing? How are you standing? How you can progress about it. Well said. Thanks for all three of you just pitching in and then taking forward. Now I would like to move to Cortney to just talk about it. As a consultant, she comes with a lot of consultancy experience to talk about how do I identify, how do I create a solution about it. So please let us know, in the business, when they are having a big business challenges, how do you analyze and create value? Is it something different than what BAs do, or how do you see in your lens about challenges are getting solved as a consultant, Cortney? Please help.
Yeah, so I think that the important part of both a one of the important parts of being a BA and also as a consultant is making sure that you help to identify the business value for the opportunity. Tracy said it earlier that there are candidates for automation that maybe aren't good candidates. A lot of times, especially when you're working with users, they think very linear. They think very much like, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis and how can automation help me? And saving one individual 5 minutes, whether that's 5 minutes a day, maybe 5 minutes a week, it doesn't necessarily justify the cost of development of an automation. So it's really important when you're going into this process to be able to identify the business value for the opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities as you go into an organization, and whether you're a consultant or a business analyst, you're going to find many opportunities for automation. And usually businesses need to prioritize those, and they typically prioritize those based on the value that's being delivered. So the value being delivered versus the cost. I think that as a business analyst, understanding some of those technical details, I'm very functional, but I have a fairly good understanding of going through a lot of the same types of certifications that a lot of everyone else has already talked about, and understanding that technical side, even though I'm not necessarily doing the development and I probably never will, but it really helps to understand the cost of doing that development and helping to estimate it out. So understanding the business value, and then also really revisiting that too. I've been in certain organizations where when you say that you're going to prioritize based on business value, business users like to get their automations done, right? Because it's usually some efficiency gain. And so sometimes they will assign more value to it than perhaps it's actually going to bring to the organization. So most organizations that I've been in where they have successful automation programs will revisit that value and make sure that it really truly is delivering the value to the organization that the individual said that it would, and holding them accountable. So I think that's really important, especially when you're looking at being able to justify the cost of doing the automations, and then also continuing to drive that out. So helping build, that very successful automation program, and being able to look at different tools. There's many different ways to automate things. UiPath has OCR technology included, so there may be some OCR that can be leveraged. There may be workflows. You may be leveraging the AI ML capabilities. So there's a lot within the suite itself, looking at it, more from a traditional RPA automation, where now we're really moving into a lot more doing with AI and ML. So really understanding that, understanding the technology is critical, but then also, understanding that business value that it's bringing to the organization is also really important.
Thank you, Cortney. Very well said, right? So one is about realizing the business value. How do you bring that? That's one part of it. And even you brought one more topic saying that there is a traditional automation BA versus the modern BA, automation BA, what we are just using AI, ML, or it could be a OCR, whatever the technology we wanted to build about it. Can you just tell us about the real world challenge where you were able to bring it out just because you are a BA expertise, even though you are just doing a consultancy role, how this BA expertise added a value in a real world challenge?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and prior to being a consultant, I've my whole career has been as some kind of business analyst, but also being responsible for standing up an automation program as well. So, being able to look at, like I said, the value, but also, especially in the environment where we are now, where many of us are working with remote users, or also defining requirements and process flows with remote users, I think that brings a particularly interesting, nuanced challenge. A lot of times remote users are working with multiple screens. And so you may be walking through an opportunity with a user and they're doing something on one screen and you don't realize that there's, they have an Excel file that they're referencing over in another, screen until you get to the point where you're automating it and you're like, where are these business rules that I'm supposed to be using? And you realize that the business rules are actually sitting in an Excel file that they're, using to reference when they're going through their manual process. So I think that is being able to ask the right questions and making sure that your users, your users know exactly what they do on a day-to-day basis, and they don't always understand the details that you need as a business analysts to be able to put all of those details together in a, in the click by click with all of the logic and everything that needs to be in there from an automation perspective to hand that over to the developer. So working with users, I think that comes from experience too. So working with users to be able to go through that, it's very different when you're in the office and sitting next to them and can watch what they do. But also, being able to do that from a remote perspective. I think a lot of us, are in that role now where we're working with users all over the world and remotely. So being able to get those details from them and really get that out of the users is very, very important. And it's just real quick as an example of an automation where we were able to create a lot of business value. So we had a process where the users were downloading tickets every day. This was being used to bill customers. And it was taking an individual who would come into the office every morning, 2 to 3 hours to be able to download all of these files and then be able to bill the customers off of that. So it was really the beginning of the process. So, in the real world, right, that means that you're not actually starting to bill customers until the afternoon, because if it takes you 2 to 3 hours, going and getting coffee, interruptions with emails, the reality is that was taking them the entire morning. And then they would give those files over to the billing team to be able to bill, and they would bill in the afternoon. We automated the process of downloading all of those tickets so that when they would come in the morning, the team was able to already start billing. So they didn't have to wait until the afternoon. They were able to bill that same day based off of that data. And then we also, because we automated it, you're able to run that process midday as well. And then also pick up additional tickets that could be billed off of. So not only did we create efficiency in the process and the expediting of it, but we also created cash flow improvements, because now I'm able to bill my customers faster, and I picked up about a day off of my billing cycle. So it's not just the efficiency gains, but also, when you're doing something like that, where now you're able to bill customers faster, you create a cash flow value as well, which is really important. And also really important to talk about when you're talking about business value. It's not just efficiency gains, it's also potentially, what you can do to make improvements like that, where we had a real cash flow improvement based on the automation that we did. So capturing all that business value is critical, and working with the users and understanding that as well is also super critical as you're evaluating automation opportunities.
Thank you so much for sharing the real example of how this has improved the business, just not only the efficiency, we are able to build more value because more tickets we are able to solve about it. Thanks for just sharing about it. This is the beauty of becoming a BA, because you follow the process of start looking at the step by step, as like what Atul was talking about, process mining, task mining are all coming into the picture to see the holistic picture. Of course, the experience also needed to understand the business, but then it just give you the overall perspective of how to navigate the process about it. Thanks for just sharing this, Cortney. But I'm just also seeing the hands raised by the audience. I'm just going to invite, but I would like to share that the entire members today were talking about in their journey how they just use BA as whatever they learned in the certification becomes a value add for their day-to-day life in their career. How are they doing? Whether they are a project manager, whether they are a business analyst, whether they are a solution architect, whether they are a developer, regardless of that, the base is just coming handy to help us out. And I would like to just invite the other audience as well. Just let us know, beyond what we spoke, have you seen a different approach? Have you experienced different? Feel free to just raise the hand. Let's just open up this for Akash to just go through it. Akash, please go ahead and let us know.
Yeah, thank you so much, team. This is Akash Gupta. I'm from Pfizer, India. I'm working as a tenured BA here for more than 6 years. My question here is a real-time problem that I'm currently facing within the firm. That having said that, that's a product firm. We are not taking clients from outside. We are just catering the internal business units that we have already, or the partnered firm that we have, the firm have, right? So what we have seen here is it's many a times that we are trying to rectify in internally itself, right? That utilizing the UiPath full-fledged platform that we have already partnered with, we have exhausted the traditional RPA that was there as a traditional BA. We have moved on to intelligent automation. We are utilizing task mining and process mining, plus the AI center, all the AI capabilities as well. But now we are at the point that within our business units, we have exhausted the capabilities that we can extend more success stories in terms of getting more use cases for discovery. Having said that, with all the capabilities that has been offered by UiPath, then how we foresee, or possibly you might have faced similar situations in one of your time frame, that how we foresee to incorporate more use cases in terms of fintech world for my firm at least. What do you foresee as an intelligent automation piece for a BA or a solution architect or a project manager we can foresee for new use cases? How should we vouch for with the existing UiPath capability fronts?
Interesting question to just ask our experts to figure it out. Is anybody has insights of what is that? We can just explore for Akash. Anybody would like to chime in?
So I'm trying to understand the more questions. So again, let me try to answer, but I'm not sure did I get the question right, but I'll still try to answer that. So your question is how you can expand, right? How you can incorporate more use cases with the intelligent automation, right? I mean, first, definitely like come in with the UiPath, the agentic process automation that is coming, right? And again, leveraging AI ML is something which is also coming with the the UiPath platform, right? So the main thing is transition from simple rule-based automation, right, to use cases to more uh, cognitive, like decision-making kind of like those data interpreting and predictive analysis. That is where you are leveraging with the UiPath tools. You can leverage AI ML to expand automation beyond repetition. That is what I'll say that. You're most important as a business analyst to cope up with how the technology is changing is to expand automation beyond repetition. Initially, when RPA started, it's all about small things. Within a year, we saw that IPA coming into picture, document processing come into picture. Now you look year back, there were like more process mining, task mining, and if you look today, right, it's all about agentic. We are talking about, right? So that is how I will say that. That's how you foresee. It is an industry that is changing, right, every day, and especially if you will look where we were 2 years back, today everything has changed, right? There's a big titanic change in this in terms of the AI ML, right? So that's what I will say. You need to definitely stay on the toe to make sure that you understand, and that is where it is important as a business analyst. Earlier, like traditional BAs, that is one other important thing is they're talking more about the documentation that I mentioned, right? But the new BAs that we are talking about, they are analyzing each day. They are looking for opportunities, right? And that is where, as a business analyst, if you're enrolled, you are not only restricted to the documentation, but you need to evaluate, you need to analyze, you need to find opportunities, and you also need to be technical. Because if you're not technical, how you're going to check that how the process automation work, how the task automation work, how the agentic this works, right, and how to leverage AI ML, right? So that is what I will personally say that you need to use these tools to stay up to the market and find more use cases for yourself.
Thank you,
I
Atul.
strongly agree with Atul here because right now, even for me as well, as per my experience, we are good with RPA, fine. We have done a certain other things, document understanding, everything. What's next? That's always the question. What's next?
Right.
We need to upgrade ourselves and seek for the right opportunities. Now, coming thing is agentic, right? The simple RPA which were limited to only the repetition and manual work, we need to transform them into more intelligent automation where they can make the decisions in even the human in the loop that is not required, and let it upgrade. Let us try to identify those opportunities. Let us upgrade even more our RPA only. Let the agents work with the RPA to solve the whole holistic problem of a business, right? So that's the view we need to think.
Thank you,
Okay.
Need to
Just to follow up on that, when we are saying agentic, aren't we just limiting ourselves to the customer service or the contact center specifically?
Sorry, didn't get you, Akash. Come again, please.
When we say agentic
Hmm.
capability from UiPath,
Hmm.
aren't we limiting ourselves to use cases which are customer centric,
No, no.
contact center basis or customer centric
It is
specifically, where
beyond that.
agents are
It's beyond that. It's
I,
I highly recommend that a couple of fellow MVPs are they have sessions about agentic. There is a lot of like comment training going on. So I
Mhm.
highly recommend that attend or go through those YouTube videos or something. Agentic is far much beyond that we can even answer right now.
exactly.
It is end-to-end
Exactly.
automation. We are intelligent automation. It's beyond that. Just I'll not I will not do a justification if I'll talk about agentic in this meeting, but I highly
Mhm.
recommend to please follow a couple of training material that we have or attend those webinars. That will give you much more. It is beyond the customer
Sure.
support.
Thank you, Atul. I'm
Yes.
going to
Thank you.
answer your and thanks for asking that, Akash. But I also just get that input from Cortney saying that timing is just up. We have a different session to just move on. So I would just welcome all of you to just stay tuned. We do have our AMA session which is going to come. We will pull all of you and just get it all your queries answered. And now I would just thank all the panelists and then thanks for sharing your day in the life of how BA is just transforming your career and how are you seeing BA into a next level of your transformation journey. Thanks for sharing. And let's invite Diana to just take over to talk about more on the certification. Over to you, Diana.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. So I just want to also say, great job, panelists, Manjula, for driving that. I just think there was so much information, such great information, that it probably should be reviewed again when you guys get a chance to look at the recording. You don't get this many experts in one room to talk about the variety of ways they use business analysts, and get that background. That takes a lot of time to culminate that experience. So just make sure that you guys understand the value of what we're trying to do here, that you understand that this training is just the beginning of opening all types of doors for you, that there's more that you can learn, on your own with UiPath, but that this is a starting ground. This is the associate degree. This is the associate training. So what you're doing is just really the beginning of where you can drive your future. And I'm just really proud of you guys for sticking with us. This is the last session today for the main part of the program, the training, making sure that you guys have all the recordings, that you know to go to the BA series page, you know to go to the forum page. If you need any help until the 19th, when your self-paced training is due to be completed. And then also we want to make sure that you finish your contest submission, and that you get that into us so that we can review that over the holidays. So let's just go through everything one more time. We want to make sure that you guys know that there is an Automation Business Analyst Associate training plan. That is where all your self-paced courses are. you should be able to complete those by the 19th. And then secondly, the Certified Professional Automation Business Analyst Associate, where you find the information about this certification. I got one question. Is that good for a lifetime? I don't think so. I think it's good for 3 years. So make sure that you look at that. The cost of the certification is $150 USD. And so I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I think I've gone through the rest of this slide, so just make sure you get everything in on the 19th. We're looking forward to getting that from you. Let's talk one more time about the certification retake program. The way this works is that if you take the certification, you pay for it, and you do not pass, you have until March 31st to let me know, at which time I will send you a free voucher. So if you pay for it the first time and do not pass, I will send you a free voucher. I just need proof that you tried to take it and did not pass. And I will keep a list of that. And then I will notify you that your name is on the list, so that you can be assured that you will get that voucher. So that's the way we're running the program. If you are interested, you can also get a free certification by participating in the certification contest. We are giving away free vouchers, which we will announce on January 16th. Make sure that you guys register for that session. This is really important. This is, you don't have to do this, but I would highly advise you to do this, because as a business analyst, even through the training, again, you're going to have an opportunity to have people look at your work and see if you're doing this okay. And so the fact that we have this template that we've created for you, the fact that you're learning all this information, this is something you can take with you. You'll have that as an example. So I would highly recommend that you go ahead and do this exercise, that you fill in for the contest. Make sure that you download the form separately, that you fill out the form separately before you fill out the whole form with your name, your email address, and the attachment, because you're going to need that whole self form filled out with your template, with your project plan. All that needs to be filled out before you submit the whole form, or it won't qualify. So just make sure you really read the rules, and that if you have any problems, you reach out to us again. And we'll ask for any questions you guys might have at the end of the session. So I'm not going to answer anything here, but we'll have time at the end of the session if you have any more questions. And then the only other thing I just want to make sure, a couple things. Don't forget the 16th. That's really important. Don't forget to register for the contest that is on the series page and the forum page. And then I just have a couple of other things. We do have, it's the end of the year at UiPath, and we always like people to fill out a survey. So this helps us shape the future for next year. What did you love? Share your thoughts. I put this URL in the chat, but if you guys want, you can just scan this QR code as well. It'll just take about 3 minutes to fill out, I think. So if you would do that, we'd really appreciate it. It's just really helpful for us to know how to serve you better. Thank you. And then lastly, I'm going to turn this back over to Manjula to wrap up the session today. But UiPath and the next Innings would like to welcome you into the new year. We know there's new paths forward, and we want to wish you guys all happy holidays. So I'll still be here till the end of the call to answer any questions, but I'm going to turn it back over to Manjula and the next Innings team.
Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you so much. Good. So now that we got the clarity from overall program where we have just completed the learning path, and there is an opportunity to just hone our skills to the next level, right? That's what we received from Diana, where you have a contest to participate, to submit your projects, and you do have an opportunity to take up your certification. And if you just fail, retake is also coming as free. So with that comfort, I I would also like to just talk about what is that next innings are working with UiPath, and what is that we are just going to do it on January 16th for all of you. So allow me to share my screen. Let me just share my screen. Yes. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. Right. So welcome to the next innings, one of the career platform to just transform your career to the next level, what we wanted to do through a year for all of you. So before I just start, and I would like to thank Diana for bringing us together to hold this program along with UiPath, and also the other leaders and MVPs, volunteers, and all the participants being part of the program and trying to take a value out of it. You are doing awesome work. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks.
Thanks, Diana. All right. So just to let us about who we are. So it is a tech platform to encourage every professional to grow in their career. So how are we doing this in a tech platform? So we do have a online, everything is online for us. So you do have an assessment, you do have a skilling program, and we do have a mentoring program. So we build a tech professional to get into the next level, where we also bring our industry together. So bringing the industry and then grooming the professional is a platform does that, like the program what we are just conducting. So then once you are just done with that, you would be getting into a mentor tracks and the corporate path, how you can hone your skills to the next level. That's what the next innings does. And our approach, as I was talking about, there is a community platform for different skills, and all of you, most of you are part of our WhatsApp group as well, where we have created to give you the personalized feedback of the program, what it is happening, followed by this, where you can also be part of our online skilling program or mentorship program, or even a career support to just groom you to the next level. And most of the leaders joining our platform for their professional growth, like all the MVPs have just joined, it just for pay forward to the community, as well as it's also just helps them for their professional growth. So this is how we just build our community. And finally, corporate comes and then look at us as a diversity partner to hire the talent from our community platform. So some of the services what we provide for corporate is about providing the skilled professionals, also providing the supporting the staff augmentation and technology partnership for doing the projects, and the community engagement and the diversity opportunities for all of the corporate what we do as a services. And some of the clients for your reference, where we are able to help build the community and place our community members over the last 2 years. I have just given the reference for you. And some of the highlights of the community program from 23 to 24 for your reference. So we also have this next innings in Ontario, which is a Canadian-based startup. And we did a program, it's called Let's Talk Career, to just give you the awareness of how to shape the career, whichever the segment you are, skill you are, how you can just segment, how do you just take care of your technical skills, how you can take care of your soft skill, how do you do a networking and find out. So that's a program we have just ran over there. So 600 plus professional attended, and in India, every Wednesday we do this program. Close to 2,000 people have just attended our program as of now. And some of the global programs which we can highlight is, there is a Women in Tech offline program we have just conducted. In fact, you will see some of the leaders would be coming for our online session in next Jan 16th. And there are 10-day career masterclass. We have just done that. And different roles, close to around 30 plus mentors have just come and taken the program in our platform. Talk about the different role, whether it's a developer or an architect or a product manager. So we have just run a program to transform all our professional career to the next level. And 2023, we have just started this with Diana's support, launched this UiPath Business Analyst program, and we just had our 400 plus members, and right now we have just seen 300 plus members have registered for the current Analyst Associate program, what we have just done that. And stay tuned, and as Diana was talking about, you are going to hear about more upcoming programs as well, which as a team we are going to just do it together. And some of the UiPath resources are available. You can just scan and then pick it up. You can practice your online test. You can just know about how to just understand the associate training program and etc. How we can just do about it. So this is about our Learn Innings, how we are just joining hands with UiPath to do this program. And with that, I would also talk about what is that we have just planned on January 16th as a career day for you. Just allow me to share my screen again. Just give me a second. Just a minute. Yes. So this is the plan for our January 16th, or what we are just doing it together to bring all of you to see how we can just transform your career to the next level. So the Career Blueprint is our program, which is going to happen on 16th Jan, where we just get to know about intents. Today, we had a panelist to talk about their day in their, as a BA, how they just see that. But what we have just planned for you is altogether is a different track we are just creating on our Blueprint Day on Jan 16th. We are just creating 4 different tracks where you would be going to each of the track and connect with the industry expert to get your guidance how to progress your career to the next level. So you would be having the resume preparation track to just get to know how you can create a ATS compliant, how do you just create your cover letter, how do you just make sure your summary comes, and what are all the elements you need to just check into the your resume preparation, and what are all the tools available. You will just get to know about it. And similarly, there is an interview prep track where we are just going to talk about how, as a professional in BA, what kind of a question, how are you going to blend tech versus your business knowledge with your customer management skill, how we are going to build that. We are going to talk about it in that track. The third track is going to talk about the importance of how, even if you are an existing professional, how the mentoring and networking is going to making sure you are growing in the landscape of your career growth. How do you just amplify your career growth using this mentoring and networking? And finally, what is your next step in your career progression? So these are all the 4 tracks we have just kept it for you. And again, we have just created industry experts to come and talk about in each of the expert track what we have just brought, because each of them have got the experience, each of them have got the opportunity to just come and explore with you. So these are all the members we have invited, and they're just going to handle each of the track. And just to give you the glimpse of it, the resume preparation, Anuka Rai Chaudhary from the Wonderbots as well as Christina are going to talk about it. And Anuka handles the hiring day in, day out, and she should be able to tell you how you can just get through the resume preparation track using her lens. And similarly, we have also just prepared an interview preparation track for you, where Lovely Sinha and Devyani are going to talk about it. So just to give a one-liner about Lovely, Lovely has just moved one country to another country, and successfully she has just changed a couple of career in the new country. So she would be able to talk about how she prepared, how we can also prepare ourselves for the new job part of it through the interview. And then we are just going to talk about how the mentoring and the networking helps you to grow in your career. And Cortney and myself are just going to talk about how the mentors who comes over here becomes your catalyst to just move your next level of the career. And you will get to know about the tips and then the techniques, how you can just connect with them, how you can grow and take the opportunities to the next level. And finally, we are just going to have the career progression track where Melanie and Atul are going to talk about how they are progressing, how are they just pay forward, how are they connecting with the different events, and how you can just enable them yourself using their techniques. We are going to learn about it. So this is the 4 tracks we have just built for you, and looking forward to open up a couple of opportunities and then see how we can build your career to the next level. So that's our plan for bringing all of you for January 16th, and looking forward to just announce the project winners as well as about the new opportunities, how we can open the doors together. So with that, I would like to just say thank you so much, and I'm just going to invite for a AMA sessions to bring all of you to see what are the other questions which we have not answered, where we can be able to help you to just know better about it. Thank you so much for allowing us to share that. I'll stop sharing the screen. Okay, so we are just coming back here and picking up your AMA session, how we can just work together, and feel free to just open up what is that you have your unanswered questions so far, what we have just discussed, something we can be helpful, or you would like to talk about your challenges and how is this certification can help, cannot help. Any questions, feel free to just ask us. We all come in and then try to answer as much as we can.
Yeah, Manjula, before we go there, I just want to say one thing, which is this certification is very new, as is the learning path. So the pre-test or the test that you practice before the certification will not be available till the end of December. So you just have to wait another week, I think, for that to be launched. But it should be good. You guys should have plenty of time to launch that and review it. I just want to know it's not quite there yet.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that, Diana. Thank you so much. Right. So over to you, team. Is there anything is a question which we can ask? And I do have a couple of questions which I have not asked the panelists about it, but I will also just pull up and then check it out. Anybody has any questions, feel free to raise the hand. We will see how we can help you.
Does anybody have any questions about the contest, the certification, anything at all? Any of your self-paced courses, are you having any issues? Please let us know.
Hey, hi, this is Akhil here. So I posted that question in the chat as well. So like if we give the certification exam today, so it will be valid for next 3 years from today. So
that's my understanding. It's 3 years, but I would advise you to go to the certification page itself because we're not part of the certification team. So I don't, they'll have that identified, as part of that certification page. And the reason I'm not answering it directly is because that could change from time to time. So depending on when you take it, that could change, but it's my understanding it's valid for 3 years.
Okay. Because for the developer, like if we give that exam last year, it was valid only for 1 year because that 3 years thing is not from the date you give like.
Yeah, that's why I ask you to go to the certification page itself, because the certification team has the right to change that when they do, and I'm not part of that team.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, thank you. And Abdul, you have a question. Feel free to unmute and tell us about what is your question.
Hi, everyone. I have a question regarding the practice test. I can see here. I'm wondering about how many times we can try this test before going through the real certification exam.
Has anybody taken the self-practice test from our panel?
I don't think
yes.
And the number of times.
Yes, exactly. Unlimited time. There is no fixed time for the practice test as of I have done previously.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions which you have for upcoming session or the what you have just gone through, anything we can be helpful to just ask about it, or even in your career related anything?
Mike Sheen here. Yeah, due to other reasons, I won't be able to complete the full course in this iteration. So I'm basically I'm going to be going to a certain point with it. But be able to work on it in 2025 and work towards it then.
Yeah, it's
Shisha,
really hard to understand you.
yeah, can you type in? We'll be able to understand. We are not able to hear. There was a noise when you speak. We couldn't understand.
Okay.
I think you're
Okay,
asking if you could finish your course in the next year, and continue with this program. Yes, you can. And if you have any
Okay.
questions, I'll just put my email in the chat. You can reach out to me directly. If there's any exceptions people need. We're asking for people to get done, just so you know, by the 19th of December, if possible. That way you get to enjoy your holidays and not be worried about this over it, which I think
Understood.
makes sense. But
Yeah.
but if you
Yeah.
need more time,
It's
please just
just-
reach out to me. Yeah.
Will do. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Dan. Any other questions we have before we wind up and then say Happy New Year for you? All right. Okay. Over to you, Diana. Please go ahead and just take it up.
Yeah, so we're so excited. Again, this is our last meeting before the new year starts, and we're looking so forward to seeing what you guys submit as part of your plans, because we love looking through those to see how much you guys learned from this session. And we wish you the best for Christmas, the New Year, and any other holidays that are out there. And thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you on January 16th. Thanks,
Thank you so-
everybody.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks for the panelists, and thanks to Diana and the entire UiPath team. And thank you, all of you, for joining, and wishing you a great New Year, and see you soon on next year, Jan 16, with the welcoming the winners as well as all of you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.